Hello everyone, and welcome back to this last day of Vileplume Aegislash week. Now we'll see how we go in those last two games. We've been doing pretty well, getting turn 1 Vileplume a lot of the time, getting it out consistently in most games. We've had some rough situations due to pricing things and stuff like that, but we'll see how today goes, shall we? I'm very excited to be playing this deck, and I've had some very positive feedback on the standard lists I posted in the Spanish version of the deck, of the videos rather. I posted a sample standard list, which is very similar to this list, but with a Regice focus rather than Aegislash. And I've received some positive feedback, so if you're looking for some standard lists of this deck, you should definitely check out the description in the Spanish video. Even if you don't watch it or don't understand what I'm saying, you can just take the list and take it out for a spin yourself. Now let's see here. We started out okay, but we really need to get that Oddish out. It's unfortunate. I need to make sure, I need to check if the second Vileplume is in the deck, because if it isn't and it's priced, okay, there it is. So we should be okay if we use a Sycamore next turn, which I'm very glad about. Gonna pass the turn. My opponent is saying hi, hello, you're being recorded for YouTube. Not today, tomorrow. You'll be in tomorrow's videos, Strife Crow. Good luck to you too. So, yeah, I'm glad people are... This is the second time someone mentions or asks about the video or says he's a sub, so thank you very much if you're watching this. It's very nice to run into people who watch my videos. I'm very, very glad. I'm honestly very, very happy and almost overwhelmed on the amount of support I've received with this channel and the videos and everything. I'm really glad people are enjoying hearing me blab on for 30 minutes at a time or more. So we're up against a Blastoise Keldeo deck, so the deck we used last week, and my opponent successfully gets the turn 1 Blastoise. If I had gotten the turn 1 Vileplume, this would have been quite a difficult match for my opponent for sure. But now that he got the turn 1 Blastoise and he can attack this turn, I don't think Miltank is going to live through this turn. Now, fortunately, we do have the two Mewtwo EXs. Unfortunately, I am going to get rid of a DCE next turn due to the Sycamore, unless we get a sick top deck, Mewtwo top deck or something like that. But if we can get Vileplume into play next turn, I think we'll still be okay-ish. Okay-ish. Now, my opponent is getting everything he needs. He's getting a pretty sick setup for this turn. The only thing that would make this better is if he had a way to target Oddish and or get rid of my Stadium, but that deck doesn't run many Stadium cards, so we'll see. Getting Vileplume out next turn is definitely the priority. Versus Seekers for Archie. So if we do get the Vileplume out, there is a chance that from his prices, wow, we did get the Mewtwo top deck. So there is a chance that from his prices or his top deck, he doesn't get out what he needs. So I'm not entirely sure what to do here. I need the Vileplume. Can I give up on the... Not lucky, that's the way the deck is built. But okay, can I get another DCE to follow up on that Miltank, or should I just attach to this Mewtwo and threaten? Because with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 140. I would still need another DCE to take a KO. So since I need 2 DCEs anyways, I'm gonna attach to the active and damage Keldeo. Now we did get everything we need in order to get Vileplume out, as long as we get some Pokemon off of Shaymin. Or I just need one Pokemon really, right? Okay, I probably misplayed that terribly, absolutely terribly. And without Vileplume, we won't be doing enough damage to that Keldeo. I really messed up, didn't I? I really messed up. Gonna have to go get the other Shaymin, if it's there, which I thought I checked for. Yikes, that Ultra Ball. Okay, yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna communication once in order to draw an extra card, because all we need, now we still need 2 Pokemon. And now one needs to be either Gloom or Vileplume. Oh, we need to top deck either Gloom or Vileplume with this tasting. And no luck. Wow, now we're in deep trouble here. Deep trouble. Because... wow, I had Ultra Ball and Computer Search. Why didn't I just and now we have no supporters for next turn. Why didn't I simply... That was very dumb of me. Very dumb of me. I'm very disappointed. All I had to do was... was Ultra Ball and then Computer Search. Ultra Ball for Gloom, Computer Search for Shaymin, draw 5. I would have still had a Pokemon Communication left, and I would have been able to... wow. I would have been able to be fine. To get Vileplume out, to have a supporter probably. But now I'm in a very rough spot. Not completely lost yet, but in a very rough spot. And I definitely need Vileplume out next turn. I really... see, my opponent would have been stuck. He used Ultra Ball for Shaymin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's probably a mistake, attaching to Keldeo, unless he's going to Lysander this turn, which is definitely a possibility. He should Lysander out Mewtwo, though he might be tempted to Lysander out Gloom. He is using a Battle Compressor, doesn't get rid of Lysander, got rid of 3 energies, which I'm guessing he's going to get back. Oh, he does have the Lysander, and he does take the KO on Mewtwo. Okay. At least... come on, Tasting, help me out. And then, okay. Gonna attach here and N. There's the Vileplume finally. And with 2 hits from Miltank, thanks to that 10 damage, we do have the KO on Keldeo. So hope is not completely lost just yet. Although he had the stadium. So after he heals, oh, this is just gonna be impossible. Impossible. He's gonna be down to 1 price. Luckily, he discarded more energy with that Battle Compressor, and since Vileplume is out, he won't have any more access to them. So that's pretty great. I don't want him healing anymore. And if I do 80, Shaymin-EX will be able to take the KO on Keldeo afterwards, so it's not completely lost yet. We're in a difficult spot. We are definitely very, very far behind. Yeah, my opponent just takes the KO. So if he's running a list similar to the winning lists, he's not going to have another Lysander. That means he has no way to target Vileplume, and that means he has no way to recover any more energy from his discard pile. So despite being down 1 prize to 6, I think we can still pull this off. Gonna take the KO on Keldeo here. Gonna draw my 2 prizes. Now, what do I promote here? I don't want to promote something that might get stuck or that could be put to sleep. Although I guess everything will get put to sleep. And no, never mind. My opponent isn't really threatening me with anything other than sleep. So I won't really mind him doing that. I do wake up. So that's 1 energy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 energy in the discard pile. That means my opponent probably only has 1 more energy left, actually. So we should be pretty okay here. I'm actually tempted to Lysander either Shaymin or Jirachi, but I guess getting rid of all his energy in play is the better thing. So even after my opponent's explosive start, the fact that we messed up that turn and we didn't get Vileplume out, yeah, my opponent's only chance, I guess, is for me to deck out, I would think. So I'm gonna conserve the AC. Eventually, there will be a turn where we do wake up. I mean, odds of us not waking up before we deck are pretty improbable. It's not impossible. See? I'm still asleep. But it's not, it's very improbable. So we do wake up. Eventually, we will get rid of that Articuno and we will draw our 6 prizes. We stay asleep. I mean, worst case scenario, yeah, we stay asleep. Can my opponent keep us asleep for so long? Nope. I do wake up now. I am going to go full out on this Mewtwo. I do have AC to get back anything. He might Lysander if he does have another Lysander, and I do have another AC in the deck, I believe, unless it's priced. So I'm pretty sure we have this game locked up, despite my opponent being down to 1 prize. That 10 damage from Miltank on the Keldeo, the turn we whiffed the Vileplume, ended up being huge. Absolutely huge. Yeah, my opponent got rid of all of this just now. He gets a Rough Seas into play, which doesn't really make a difference. Now, I would like to draw... Do I have any more energy? There is another DCE and another Metal Energy in my deck. And we do have the end, so we're not at risk of KOing ourselves, or rather decking out ourselves. Gonna bench the other Slurpuff to try to get it for next turn, since any energy will, after we KO this Regice, with a Lysander we can take the KO on Shaymin, and we can take this win, since that'll be 1 prize from Regice and 2 prizes for Shaymin. My opponent calls GG. It definitely was a GG. He plays the Sycamore to deck himself out. He ran out of energy. Vileplume, oh wow, he has another energy. But now he's decked out, and despite the decking out, we did have the win eventually. So very good game, Strive Crow. I hope you're watching this. Honestly, there wasn't much you could do to prevent this. Vileplume definitely hurts your deck a lot more than a Quaking Punch from Seismitoad, because if you do manage to KO Seismitoad, there are turns where you are free to play trainers. But since we have the full lock with Vileplume, that makes it a lot harder for you. Thank you very much for for watching my videos, since you recognize me. And yeah, if you guys are playing PTCGO, there are chances that I will run into you and you might get recorded. Other times I won't be recording because I also practice during the week for tournaments. But actually, I usually practice on standard and record on whatever deck got chosen during that week. So for example, this week I played expanded only because I was recording for this video, but I played a lot in standard because that is the format that is going to be played a lot more in Mexico. Now, active Wofet is a problem here. Is a very big problem because we do not have access to Shaymin. I wish I had started Aegislash, because it's gonna be hard getting Vileplume out here. Not impossible, and that's why I'm putting back the Shaymin. We won't have access to it until that Wofet gets KO'd. But we do have the Ultra Ball in hand, so at worst we will have a turn 3 Vileplume. And no, we still, it's 110 HP, yeah, because next turn we do 10 and we evolve to Gloom. Next turn we do 10, oh no, we would do 80 and with the Vileplume out, so it's still a 3 KO on Wofet, that's fine. Getting Vileplume out will stop, will put a big break on my opponent's strategy, for sure. Oh wow. Okay, that's fine. Do I AC or do I retreat? No, I definitely retreat here. AC is better saved for some time later. Gonna do 10 damage. Doesn't really matter too much. Still gonna be a 2-hit KO afterwards. But I do have the turn 3 Vileplume, which is great. There's no way I don't evolve to Vileplume next turn, unless I draw something like a Sycamore perhaps. Whatever I do get, I am getting rid of in order to get that Vileplume out. Though Miltank will be KO'd next turn. Wow, and I got another Vileplume. I mean another Miltank, which would actually be very useful. In fact, as a follow-up, then I'll be doing 10 damage. Gonna get rid of this and I'm gonna get Vileplume out. I'd rather slow down the game than let my opponent keep up. If I have to stall with Aegislash, that's fine. Hopefully he won't have enough turns to get damage on Vileplume to KO it. But as you see in my hand, I literally have nothing, so I'm really reliant on top decking something or my opponent being forced to use N for some reason. And he did play the first stadium, so if we start drawing into our stadiums, we should be okay here. And Aegislash's Psychic Resistance will definitely help. Top deck a Slurpuff, not useful at all. My opponent's best bet right now would be to retreat the Wofet and start skill diving with Crobat, my benched Vileplume, I reckon, because it's gonna be a while. Oh, never mind, he has Wofet active, so he can still play trainers. Wow, I'm being dumb. I completely forgot about that. Completely forgot. Now with that 20 damage, he will be able to start bypassing the resistance here. Okay, I am going to play the level ball for a Swirlix, and next turn we will be drawing 2 cards at least, which will increase our odds of getting out of this terrible position here. just wants to get rid of Aegislash, doesn't really care about Vileplume since he does have Wofed active and a benched Wofed as follow-up. So what I really need here is Mewtwo. Mewtwo and DCEs in order to get KOs on these guys. At least Aegislash is buying us some turns, and finally we top deck the Sycamore here. And getting that is definitely going to be very useful. We don't get any energy, unfortunately. I don't think Aegislash is going to be too useful right now, to be honest. Going to get, or do I get Shaymin? No, I want to ensure I have Mewtwo. There's a Mewtwo. I'm going to get rid of his 2 muscle bands. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure I chose that one, but that's fine. That Mewtwo, that Wofed doesn't have long to live. So he does have a Dimension Valley, but that is why I didn't discard my own Forest of Giant Plants. And he's going to need more Crobats in order to ensure he can take KOs on Mewtwo. And he's going to probably need another Stadium too. So I did get a pretty ideal hand here. I can't stop his Wofeds. So do I need something else right now? Probably not. Maybe next turn I could go for the other Mewtwo actually. No, I think I can wait a turn here. Gonna take my price. Pretty redundant damage on Wofed, dealing so much when he only had 20 HP left, but that's fine. My opponent, okay, gets the Super Scoop Up Cyclone. He'll be able to put 20 damage on Mewtwo if he wants to. But even with a Muscle Band, he won't be able to KO, I believe. That would be 100 damage. So we're still in an okay position. I definitely need to prevent a KO on Mewtwo next turn though. He will have Crobat, but I can computer search for the AC and get the other Mewtwo. I guess I need to KO Wofeds back to back with Mewtwo's. Oh, there's the teammates, okay. I could also N my opponent. He's going to get a Stadium, of course. Yeah, there's the dimension. There's the 3rd Dimension Valley. I could also computer search for another Dimension Valley, actually. Waves on the Super Scoop Up, which I'm very glad to see. We know in his hand he has at least 1 Crobat. So let's see here. I think going for the Stadium is the right play because he'll be down to 1 Stadium. And apparently he really relies on it, I guess. I would guess. So let me think here. Going to get rid of... I could really use Shaymin though too. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this and this. Get the second Mewtwo. Bench it, attach, and I'm going to Colress here. I do hit the Stadium, which I was really hoping I would. And I will take a KO on this Wofeds, which I'm very glad. My opponent will take a KO here, with possibly a Crobat and a Golbat. I can promote Miltank then, but I think I'd rather use those damage to put damage on my other Mewtwo. There's a Crobat. He has to damage this Mewtwo for sure. But with an N next turn, I might be able to put my opponent in an extremely difficult position, especially since I have the 4th Stadium. So even if he plays his 4th Stadium, I will be playing my 4th Stadium, locking him out of Dimension Valley 100% sure. If it doesn't, okay, after an N, I was going to be able to do that to lower the odds greatly of him getting his last dimension value. Promotes Wofed. Is he going to attach? Is he going to attach? Or did he just do that in order to play the muscle band? I don't think my opponent didn't get an energy, so that's absolutely great. So at this point, I might actually want to AC this Mewtwo in order to prevent him from drawing easy prizes. Bench it once more. I did get the DCE. And do I want to do this in order to get Shaymin? That is the question here. I think I do, because I do have N still left in the deck, and I might need AC if he Lysanders. Oh, never mind, he has... oh, I'm dumb. I keep forgetting about Wofet. Okay, doesn't matter. Why wouldn't it let me take it back? I don't know. But my opponent is in a very tough spot right now. And we prevented him a KO on Mewtwo EX. So, okay, he had the Sycamore. I can't believe I misplayed that badly with the Shaymin. I keep forgetting about Wofet. I really do. He has the energy on Crobat, so he will be able to deal 100 damage to the active Mewtwo. He could also potentially damage the benched Vileplume, but I think, well, depends on how many Crobats he gets and if he gets the other Dimension Valley. Sycamore here. I'm going to attach to this Mewtwo because I definitely want to be able to get as close as possible to 1-hit KO in Crobats. And attaching to this one would be pretty pointless since it's going down for sure. And we'll see what happens next turn. I really wish I could have gotten an N for next turn. Gonna have to rely on the top deck plus Slurpuff, unless he promotes Wofet. In which case I will have access to trainers, so then I can computer search for the N. But there's also the fact that, okay, I got this. There's also the fact that, and I do get the N, that without a muscle band, that Crobat 3-hit KOs a Mewtwo. And we still have some energy left in our deck where we can attach and 1-hit KO that Crobat, and we did get an energy. So this game, despite being down to 1 prize once again, it's not looking terrible for us. We need him not to draw energies, not to draw that last stadium if he does have it. It might be his last prize. I wonder how many energy he runs though. And I could also, if I Lysander that Wofet, that's his big damage dealing card. If I Lysander that card, if he misses an attack this turn or something like that, I win. I should win. Unless he gets his 4th Wofet and the Dimension Valley out of the 2-card hand. So it's definitely not 100% victory for us, but we are pretty close. And he can't play trainers right now because Wofet isn't active. He's gonna do 80 damage with Miltank. That is fine. No, not fine. Because... okay. What do I need to do here? Attach to Mewtwo, or rather, what can he do? He could drop 2 Golbats and attack with Crobat, and that would win him the game. He could get the stadium and get an energy and attack with Wofet to win the game. He has a 1-card hand. He didn't he's played all 4 Sycamore. He doesn't have access to Versus Seeker unless he promotes Wofet. So I'm trying to think. Is KOing Wofet better than KOing Miltank? I don't think so, because if I don't KO Miltank, all he'll need is 1 Golbat. Whereas if I KO Miltank, he will need 2 Golbats or Versus Seeker, Stadium, and an Energy. So I am going to take the KO on Miltank here. And now it's down to hoping my opponent doesn't have the right cards in order to beat me. He has a 1-card hand. So that's probably not something useful. It's definitely not a Golbat. That we do know for sure. I wonder what it is though. My opponent is thinking hard what to promote, which seems weird since pretty much all his deck retreats for free. It's probably a trainer of some sort, so he's considering if he promotes Wofet or not in order to play it perhaps. He doesn't. So Crobat is active. He gets a Pokemon fan club, so he might get Shaymin from that. Got the Miltank. Is the other card Golbat? Are you serious? He hasn't played it down yet. He would have played the fan club last turn if he had it, so that was his top deck. What is the last card? Nothing on his field survives an X-Ball, so wow. Very, very close game here. Very, very close game. This is going up on YouTube tomorrow. This is going up on YouTube tomorrow. On Tablemon channel if you want to watch. If you're interested. And yeah, gonna take a KO on that Wofet just to be fancy. 280 damage. And that's the game. So 2 games today to finish off where we lag behind pretty badly, but then through smart plays, through being a bit more conservative with the stadiums and things like that, we end up pulling off. And yeah, that will be all for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching this week. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out my Facebook page /Tablemon if you want to be involved in deciding what deck gets played on each week. I always put up a poll on Wednesdays, a reminder on Thursdays. And yeah, next week will be standard for sure, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, guys, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye bye.